Duty of vigilance is the notion that a multinational company should behave in a responsible manner and avoid putting anyone at risk in its ecosystem of employees, customers, suppliers, subcontractors, and communities. If a multinational identifies risks in the domain of human rights or the environment, it is its responsibility to ensure that the necessary actions are taken to keep everyone safe. There are unfortunately several examples where multinational companies failed to protect their stakeholders. One of them is the Rana Plaza event in Bangladesh. In 2013, a building collapsed on a clothing factory, resulting in many deaths and injuries among workers. The world was shocked to learn that this factory was making garments for well-known international brands, and none was held directly responsible. To avoid such accidents, several countries like France, Germany, or Norway have taken steps to implement laws making duty of vigilance a compulsory requirement for multinationals. And the list of countries will get bigger as the European Union is currently working on such a law for Europe. So how does this law work?
Well, let's imagine that an international company like Schneider has to build a large electrical substation in a country for a customer located in Asia, Africa, Europe, or any country. Now, this project will require to have several external companies working on the customer side to provide construction and civil work, cabling services, telecommunication, but also on-site security, catering and accommodation for workers, of course. If an accident happens to one of the employees of these local companies, then Schneider could be held responsible if it is found that it did not act to implement the necessary local measures to prevent risks, either directly or indirectly through the local third-party companies. And this responsibility would be exercised not in the local country, but in the country of the head office of Schneider, that is in France. That laws apply to all multinational companies, and therefore it is a significant expansion of the notion of responsibility, and it also puts pressure on companies to act in prevention, not only to remediate problems after they happen, but also to anticipate and to ensure that risks are prevented and that nothing bad happens.
The law requires that, first, the company builds a mapping of possible risks and where they could happen. Second, it needs to implement the measures that will mitigate and prevent risks from happening. Third, the company needs to have the right governance in place to be able to take decisions, allocate resources, and measure the results of actions. And finally, the company needs to provide an alert system so that stakeholders or employees can safely raise an alert whenever they feel something should be reported. In itself, this is simple, but for a multinational company present in several countries with complex industrial operations, this may require specific transformations.
At Schneider Electric, we were already working on vigilance concepts long time before the law was passed in France in 2017. We already had a very comprehensive program for health and safety of our employees and workers everywhere they are operating. Safety for the people has always been on the top of the priorities. The new French law accelerated some of those transformations, and it has been the case with our suppliers. We implemented a whole risk evaluation mechanism where we can rank more than 50,000 suppliers located everywhere around the world. We evaluate them on risks such as human rights and environment. Then we built together an audit program and we visited the most risky suppliers on site. We reviewed their procedures, talked to the employees, and then we found areas of concerns and non-conformance. We built corrective actions for the suppliers to be implementing. The whole idea is to help our suppliers to improve, because when we do that, everyone benefits from those improvements. Since the beginning of the program in 2017, we estimate that more than 200,000 workers have had their conditions improving. This goes far beyond the strict Schneider perimeter. And now we are expanding the scope of our vigilance program. We are working on customers, on-site projects to make them safer and free of any kind of risk. We are also working on how Schneider is impacting the local communities that are living around our own sites. At Schneider, we are an impact company, and therefore, our responsibility is to act on decarbonization, on protection of biodiversity, and protection of human rights. We have several global projects supporting these objectives, and our Duty of Vigilance program is one of the pillars to deliver this impact.
Vigilance is a company responsibility and all employees can contribute to it. Every year, Schneider is summarizing its vigilance risk evaluation, reviewing the actions and their results, and compiling all this in a specific report. If you want to learn more, you can download the document from our website or visit our dedicated sustainability web pages. We're counting on your support.